Yeah, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. About to run through the season recap for you guys. Hopefully, I'll keep it short. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. The world may never know. Probably should have did this before the playoffs started as well, or before I played, but we got a dub, so that's good. We're not one and done this year officially. Um, so we are in the this is the conclusion of the third season in this league, more Madden 72. I will show the lineup briefly. I'm pretty sure I've shown this in a couple of the other videos I've done recently, but here's the offense. Um, really big, two big things here. We have Trey Lance as a 95 or 96 overall X Factor QB, and we don't have Justin Jefferson. We do have CeeDee Lamb. We also have Jaron Addison and not Jordan Addison. So I'll go through the four trades that we made, but I also want to take a peek over here at our defense, which our defense is top, I think top three in every category, for good reason. Shout out to the one of our fallen soldiers here. We got our guy Benji Fowler who got hurt in I believe week 16, maybe week 17. And he's going to be out for a little while. I think he had a 7-week injury. So technically, hypothetically, he could come back for I think the Super Bowl if and when we make it. So we're praying for the guy, man. Praying for our guy, bro. But yeah, man. If you look at the defense, it is absolutely positively stacked. A couple of these guys are homegrown, but we'll get into how we got this team to be as stacked as it is. Like it's absolutely positively the best, probably the best team I've ever had in Madden, to be honest. Um, so first and foremost, man, the first trade that we made, it was with the Dallas Cowboys. In I think preseason, it was definitely before we even played the first regular season game of the league. So we traded Justin Jefferson, our 2024 first round pick, our 2024 third round pick to the Dallas Cowboys. So they got Jettas first and third. What we got in return was Trey Lance, who was a 69 overall normal dev QB. I want y'all to just picture that. You have to picture shit like that, like to know like, all right, I'm gonna like we're gonna take our lumps with this QB, but at least he's young. He has good bones, good throw power, good mobility. We can build him up. All right. So from the Cowboys, we got Trey Lance, CeeDee Lamb, 2024 first round pick, and a 2025 first round pick. So essentially, we swapped firsts, and you can essentially say I got Lamb, Lance, and a first for Justin Jefferson and a third. Technically, if you cancel out those first round picks. Now, what happened after that was the Cowboys only won 4 games. Cowboys only won 4 games, so we ended up with the fourth overall pick. And that's where we got our first domino to fall with this team. In the first draft, we ended up drafting this guy here, Jalil Witherspoon, with the fourth overall pick. And yeah, yeah, he turned out pretty damn well. We'll get into his stats in a little bit, but as a 90 overall player, superstar dev, 22 years old, 6'5", 300 pounds. Woo! Ay, ay, ay. That's my guy right there, man. Alrighty, so the rest of the team. Andrew Booth had a very quiet 6 interceptions in the first season. I say quiet because in terms of Madden, in the 32 user CFM league, 6 interceptions is not going to cut it at any position. So Andrew Booth was star dev. We built him up. We focus trained him. We had mentors on the roster. We built him up over that first season. Season 2, he happened to have 12 interceptions, made the Pro Bowl at the end of the year. He went from star to superstar dev. Midway through season 3, he was upgraded to X Factor via scenario game. So there's that, right? All right. So midway through, no, this is actually, yeah, very much so midway through. At the trade deadline of the second season, we traded a second round pick and a fourth round pick for the services of Dre Greenlaw, who at the time was an 88 overall superstar dev linebacker. Now, when we got Dre Greenlaw and we played him the rest of that season, he very much so was mid, and I was like, damn, I probably would have been better off with that second round pick. But in any case, we had two first round picks in the upcoming draft from that first Cowboys trade. So I was comfortable letting my second round pick go for a higher overall inside linebacker, off ball linebacker with ability. So I can, like, make some plays and stuff like that. He ended up keeping his dev at the end of the second season, and going into season 3, midway through, he was able to get X Factor dev via scenario game. Second time we did that, right? All right. So this guy right here is the product of that second first round pick for the Cowboys. So the 2025 first round pick ended up being like top 10. I want to say it was like 8th or ninth. We ended up trading it to get this guy right here, Armand Browers, or whatever his name is. 87 overall. He is an X Factor, 22-year-old. Can't go wrong with that at all. Currently, he only has no outsiders. Just a big stop in swim club. Probably gonna, he's pretty close to getting that edge threat, even though I don't think edge threat is that great this year. But I think we're only 3 overall points away from that, which would be cool. I also am interested in getting run stopper and getting inside stuff for him as well, which would be kind of cool. They're actually both only 3 upgrade points away. So starting next season, we should have that, if not very close to, maybe like week 2, week 3, somewhere around there. Anywho, he also made the Pro Bowl this season. So yeah, man. Other than that, our first season with this team, we did win Defensive Player of the Year with Harrison Smith. So, boom, he kept his. We actually upgraded to Superstar X Factor Dev, and never lost it because he won DPOY, then made the Pro Bowl again the second season. This season, not so much, but that's still our guy, man. That's still our guy, Harry the Hitman. All right. Second season, Lewis Seen actually won Defensive Player of the Year. So we're the 2-time reigning Defensive Player of the Year in this league going into the third season. And then, the 15-2 season happens, and we are currently where we are right now. So I'll get into the stats real quick, show you guys around, see what it looks like to have a 15-2 team and lose 2 games by a total of 11 points. So if we go over to the stats and awards, you can see right there, Trey Lance, 5,800 pass yards, 68 touchdowns, 16 picks. Interceptions are high. We had a couple bad games, man. Really, I think we threw 4 interceptions in one of these games. So it's not all shits and giggles. We cleaned it up towards the end of the season here. You can see wild card, week 18, week 17, 0 interceptions. So for our last 4 games are 27 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's a pretty damn good ratio and pretty good feeling heading into the playoffs. Now, like I said, we did struggle here towards the middle here. So 3 interceptions versus the Eagles and a 1-point loss. That's ass. 2 interceptions versus the Bengals there. 3 interceptions versus the Orbits, and those were all user picks. I usually don't throw near users, but he just lurked the dog shit out of me 3 times. I had to tip my cap to him, give him a GG. But I also was almost exclusively throwing to my rookie wide receiver that game to get him the superstar dev. So we once I realized that, like, all right, cool, we're probably gonna lose this one, but I have to leave this game with superstar dev. So there it is, man. 3 interceptions in one game. But for the most part, we kept it clean for most of the season, man. We kept it clean, and then there's a couple those couple games that really tore the ratio up. But 68 touchdowns is nothing to scoff at. We can also hang our hat on adding another 344 rush yards with 5 touchdowns. Pretty status quo, man. 20 yards per game rushing is not hard to do, and we're not even trying really. We're going to skip past the rushing stats just because they're all terrible. There's nothing to say. CeeDee Lamb, another 1,900-yard season, 21 touchdowns. I'm kind of mad at myself for not getting him to 100, but like I said, the focus was our rookie wide receiver. We absolutely had to go off with him to win one rookie of the year for the NFC. We were trying to get best wide receiver for the NFC, but that ended up going to CD. Um, and then we wanted to get what's the award for NFL league leader in receptions, I believe. There's an actual goal for that. We can actually check it out real quick. I want to see how much XP it is anyway. Let's see. League leader in receptions. There is an award for that as well. Da, da, da. There we go. 2,000 XP. So our guy already made the Pro Bowl, so he got that 3,900. He's got a 2,080 XP bonus coming. He's got a where's offensive rookie of the year? It's offensive player of the year. He's got 12,480 XP coming. Woo. Oh no, that's offensive player of the year. Okay, I lied. He's got 62. It's 6,200 coming for rookie of the year. Oh man, I wish I didn't like catch a touchdown with CD Lamb in the final 2 weeks now. That sucks. Anywho, the rest of the team, man, when you're trying to feed, one or two guys as much as we did, the rest of the team kind of suffered. And it is what it is because again, we had a running back rotation. We have our starting tight end here that I really don't like per se. So I mean, he gets open when he gets open. Cool, we'll hit him if he's in the flats or something like that. But we do have a young rookie here. He's only 22 years old. Yeah, 22. Star Dev, 6'6", with 80 speed, 88 speed. Yeah, I kind of want to build this guy up. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes, man. But on to the we can stop at O-line because we have two of the top five offensive linemen in the league that only gave up 2 sacks apiece. Left tackle and right tackle, Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. Now, the defense. The defense is the star of the show, man. We got our tackle leader, Dre Greenlaw, with 104 tackles, 19 TFLs, 7.5 sacks, 11 interceptions. And if it wasn't for his teammate, he would have won Defensive Player of the Year, hands down. You can also add another 4 pass deflections, a forced fumble recovery, and 4 touchdowns. That doesn't include the one that he just scored in the playoff game, so it would have been 5. But yeah, man, you can see right here, if we get to the tackles for loss, his teammate Jalil Witherspoon. This is a direct effect of that Justin Jefferson trade, man. Without that trade, we do not acquire that 4th overall pick. We do not draft this guy in the 1st round of the draft, and we do not have the most dominant season by a pass rusher in the history of the league. We don't. It's just that simple, that plain. And we're not even doing anything crazy. We're not even doing anything funky. We just figured something out, man. We figured something out to get this guy in position to attack the QB, attack the line of scrimmage, and attack the backfield on almost every play. And I love the system that I have. We can also add a blocked field goal there. It's pretty dope. But yeah, man, this guy, I don't know. I mean, like you would have to go back all the way back to like Madden 20 when edge threat was running rampant, or last year when you had like the pass committed edge threat double or nothing guys all flying off the edges and just dominating games. But he has been very much so dominant, very much so dominant this season, man. If you want to build that same type of player, there you go. High motor, strip ball, bull rush, swim, big hitter trait. That's all his stuff there. He has made the Pro Bowl this year officially, of course. He's on a rookie skill contract, man, making less than $10 million a year. Wild. He didn't have a sack in the first game that he started and finished. Well, technically he didn't finish, but he's had at least half a sack in every single game that he started and finished this season. Aside from this playoff game, because I sat him after the first half. And I think it was week 12 when we played the Bears that he actually got hurt and knocked out of the game, that he did not record a sack. There it is. It's week 13. So I think he played 12 snaps this game. I remember it being something really really low. There it is. 12 snaps for the Week 13 game versus the Bears. But if you look at every other game, and again we sat him in this game as well. Let me see how many snaps he played. Played 24 snaps, so half a game there. Every other game, 2 sacks, 3.5, 2, 2.5, 2.5. The Bears game, 2, 1.5, 2, 1, 4, half sack, 2.5, half sack, 1, half sack. Week 1 against the Ravens, 0. Other than this Ravens game, the playoff game, and the game where he only played 12 snaps, he has at least half a sack in every single one. And these are some of the most dominant games I've seen. Like this first game versus the Lions this season, 7 TFLs. Like every single tackle was in the backfield, including 4 sacks. Insane. Another 5 TFL game here versus the Packers with 2 sacks. Just splashing, in this loss right here to make 2 plays in the backfield, 1.5 sacks there. Versus the Giants, 2 sacks. Um, like 5 TFLs versus the Bears again in week 17 with 3.5 sacks. That's insanity, bro. Anywho, enough about that guy. Um, I do want to go over team stats, right? But before I do, I definitely want to give our guys their flowers, man. Another Pro Bowler here, Armand Browers, with 19 TFLs and 11 sacks. Dre Greenlaw, again, if his teammate didn't have 28 sacks, bro, hands down would have won DPOY. He was also on the list for MVP as well. So 104 tackles, bro. 19 TFLs, 7.5 sacks, 11 picks, 4 pass deflections, forced fumble recovery, and 4 touchdowns, bro. I like again. I can't stress this enough. Like this should have been. I've won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards if you ask me. Um, Danielle Hunter had a career resurgence in this third season because our guy, he starts out with superstar dev and he did not keep it. After the first season, he went down to star dev, and I was very disappointed because I gave him a contract and he just did not live up to it, man. Um, I believe he actually kept his dev after the first season, and then this is what happened in season 2: 1.5 sacks, and it wasn't like he was like hurt all year. He played 400 snaps, bro. He missed some games, sure, but he played 400 snaps, and out of those 400 snaps, the production we got was absolutely abysmal. 10 tackles and 400 snaps is insane. So I was all ready to let this young man go. I was going to let him trade him, cut him, something like that. But I kept him on the team because he now has the mentor trait, and we have a very young outside linebacker. So, yeah, man, career resurgence. Happy for Daniil Hunter. But he's going to take his 11 TFLs and 7.5 sacks and walk his ass to another team at the end of the season. Right after this playoff run, man. Because bro, I just couldn't get over that entire year that he only had 1.5 sacks. It's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. Shout out to our guy that is hurt. Another defensive end here, Benji Fowler. Another pretty dominant player, bro. When he plays, because he has a pretty low injury rating, which sucks. But he pretty much doubled his production from his rookie season, and I can't be mad at that, man. He's on his way. He's on his way. So this is our no, it's actually our third round pick. Again, we look to build up this defensive line in front seven for this game of Madden 24. I just feel like DBs are not as important as the front seven this year. But yeah, man, this is our guy. Third round pick, early third round pick. 15 TFLs, 5.5 sacks. Wish he could have played some more, man, but it is what it is. He got hurt a lot. Shout out to Brian Asamoah for 80 tackles, 20 TFLs, 7 sacks, and he missed 4 games. He also probably played his last regular season game with us, and we're likely going on the road for the rest of this playoff. So, probably played his last home game as well. So, shout out to our guy, man. He got hold in the Pro Bowl vote last year. I feel like he had a pretty dominant season as well. 93 tackles, 22 TFLs, 11 sacks, 4 picks, 3 PBUs, 4 forced fumbles. Those are all on like quarterback strip sacks. And he scored 2 touchdowns as well. So, yeah, man. Uh, Brian Asamoah, from season 1 to season 3, man, absolutely balling. But we can't afford to keep him. We can't afford to keep him, man. We got our quarterback under contract now. We got to resign. We just re-signed CD Lamb, so it's a few things that a few luxury signings that we're not going to keep around. You know what I mean? Especially considering that we do have Asamoah's replacement here on the roster already. Even though they were drafted same draft, just the way the contract shake out, um, we got his basically his replacement here on the roster already. He's a little bit faster, doesn't have the traits that Asamoah does, which is high motor and strip ball. But in terms of playmaking ability, pretty much the same, man. Pretty much the same. As you can see here, he's been in our rotation for the last 2 seasons. Because again, before we got Greenlaw, Smith was our starter. And he went on the bench for Greenlaw, and then this year, he came in and made hella plays when Asamoah got hurt. So if we take a look at his season stats here, you can see actually when he took over for Asamoah, I believe it was this week right here, week 14. Could be mistaken, but yeah, this is probably it. So in the I think 5 games that he started, like he just progressively got better. 3 tackles and a sack, 9 tackles, a sack and a pick, 5 tackles, 13 tackles and a sack. Like, I mean, he produces the same numbers that Samoa was, and he's a little bit faster, a little bit taller. So I think we're gonna go ahead and rock with this guy here. And he's also under contract for quite a while. I signed him to a lengthy deal just because I felt like he was a really good special teamer. But he turned out to be a pretty decent starter as well, or spot starter. And he's gonna get a chance to hold down that joker spot for our defense for the next coming couple seasons. Lewis Seen, coming off of his Defensive Player of the Year season, he did not have the greatest year this year, but he did get his career high in tackles in TFLs. He's got a sack and a half and 7 picks. Can't be mad at that at all. I've played him primarily as my nickel, but I think I'm gonna range him back up top to play more safety, depending on who we get in this draft coming up. Because I got a few guys that I would love to play in that star role. Let me see here. Who else of note that we have? A solid rotational pass rusher here, Eric Armstead, with 9 TFLs and 3 sacks. Has had to play a little bit more than he has all season since Fowler got hurt, but it's been a rotation between Armstead and Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown got a little bit more run earlier in the season, but I mean, he's decent. 4.5 sacks is not bad coming from a nose tackle. So, got our guy Brandon Smith there. Harry the Hitman, only half a sack, but he does have 8 picks. So, nothing to scoff at there, my boy. And then when it comes to interceptions, our leaders are going to be Dre Greenlaw, AJ Terrell. I don't even think I talked about the AJ Terrell trade, bro. Damn, my bad. So, I believe it was like week 3, week 4. We made a trade for AJ Terrell. We sent 92 overall Jordan Addison, his X Factor, to the Falcons straight up for AJ Terrell, who was a 90, 91, 92 overall. I think he was 91. He was 91 overall. But he was also a superstar X Factor. So trade for trade, call a spade. We got AJ Terrell for Jordan Addison, and yeah, AJ did his damn thing. First game on the team, 3 interceptions. So he did his thing. He's also a Pro Bowler for this year. He's making his 2nd Pro Bowl of his career, and hopefully he gets to keep his dev at the end of the season, which would be ideal. He keeps that dev. If I could possibly get Andrew Booth to keep his, and we keep that core together, that's gonna be lovely, man. That's gonna be lovely to have those bookends on the outside. because I'm pretty much assured that our guy Harry the Hitman is gonna retire after the season. He is like 36 years old, bro. Yeah, 13-year pro, 36 years old. Wild that he's still playing, but it's my guy, dog. It's my guy. I think that's pretty much it for the squad, man, in terms of stats, in terms of what we look like, in terms of just everything in a whole. But yeah, man, if you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, be sure to dislike it, leave some hateful comments, and unsubscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm out.